जी जनाब, एक दफ़ा खुश आमदेद। और आज बहुत खूबसूरत प्रोग्राम मोहतरमा अमृत मांगत साहिबा ने हमको यहाँ इनवाइट किया और वुमेंस डे के हवाले से 8 मार्च। जी अमृत जी, आप अपने तासरात दीजिए वुमेंस डे के हवाले से और आज की इस रिसेप्शन के हवाले से।
सबसे पहले तो आरफा जी, मैं आपका वेलकम करती हूँ कि आप क्वींस पार्क आए हो। हम सब इकट्ठे हुए हैं कि हम आज इंटरनेशनल वुमेंस डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं और आज यहाँ पे प्रीमियर आएंगी, वो भी एड्रेस करेंगी हम सबको। दैट्स ए बिग बिग डे।
बहुत शुक्रिया। और मैं अमृत जी, मेरा इंडिया का आपके साथ जो ट्रिप रहा, मेरा ख्याल है मैं जितनी जगहों पे बात भी करती हूँ, बीइंग अ वुमन यू आर प्लेइंग अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल in the community, and I congratulate you and also your husband as well.
I appreciate Arfa ji. You're too generous and too kind. That's my duty anyways to do. And today we are here to celebrate again International Women's Day. As you know, we women have come a long way and still we have a long road to go. I mean, equality for women is not a woman issue. It's an economic imperative. It's a social issue. And when I said that we have come a long way, progress is real and undeniable. We see more women graduating from universities, colleges, more women in workforce, and more women in politics. And today we are here to celebrate those who have come before us, and we look forward to the continued progress.
Thank you very much. And I understand आपने बड़ी खूबसूरत बात की कि equality हर चीज़ नहीं है. I think we are talking about empowerment. What would you say about the empowering a mother or a woman?
Yes, you're very right. It's very, very important to empower mother, woman, daughter, sister, everyone in the community, and this is what our government believes in. And that's why we have brought in so many good things for the woman. And we strongly believe that woman is an integral part of our society, is an integral part of our economy. We must empower them so that we can make more progress.
Beautiful. बहुत शुक्रिया. Very well said मोहतरमा अमृत मांगत साहिबा MPP. और आज इन्हीं के तवस्सुत से हम यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं.
Thank you so very much आरिफा जी. एंड में मैं एक बात कहना चाहती हूँ that you are also a leader. It's so glad to see a woman in media, a leader. Keep up the good work. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. आपकी मुलाकात करवाने जा रही हूँ मिनिस्टर हेलेना से, और जो कि कम्युनिटी एंड सोशल एक्टिविटीज़ के बारे में बात करेंगी. कि मिनिस्टर हैं आप, वुमेन डे के हवाले से क्या कहती हैं? मिनिस्टर, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग अस टाइम एंड इट्स अ वेरी नाइस इवेंट टुडे. What would you say on about this Women's Day today?
Well, I think it's very important, obviously, to have a special day for women. We are 50% of the human race, after all, and I think it's useful for all of us to share our experiences as women, as mothers, as I think usually the heart of the family, and to take a special day to talk to our sisters across all communities is very important, to exchange our experiences and so on. And of course it's so nice to see so many men here, and also that they recognize the importance of the women in their lives.
Now, what do you think special is being done to empower women over here?
Well, certainly, you know, on behalf of our government, the government of Ontario, with our Premier Kathleen Wynne, we've taken a number of steps. Obviously, as it relates to children, we're expanding childcare services. We introduced full-day kindergarten. All these things mean that, first of all our children, including our girls, are going to get a quality education. In our recent budget, we also introduced free tuition for students that are perhaps from lower income families. So really everybody will have the opportunity for a post-secondary education, and we know that in some families perhaps the brother is the first one to go to university, and it's a struggle for the family, perhaps for the girls in the family. So now there will be complete equality.
You're right. So this means I think that the government has done this something very good to make education affordable for everybody. Make it free. And this means the women at home can also go out to work. Is this in your government's mind to develop something, those women who do not come out, to develop something for them to go out and learn certain professions?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, this free tuition applies to mature students as well. And we are encouraging all the time for people to be retrained. In my own ministry, the Ministry of Community and Social Services, this is what we want. Not only for people to make more money and maybe be more financially independent, but because when you go to work and you have the employment opportunities, you are part of a group, of a team, which is very important.
A different confidence level.
Exactly, for your social health, and it's good for the family.
You highlighted something very good today, and I never thought about it. So the tuition is free for the young student, but if an adult wants to continue his education, so it's free for them as well.
It applies for mature students as well. I think that's very important.
Minister Helena, you pointed out something very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Minister of Immigration and Citizenship, Michael Chen, हमारे साथ हैं. First of all, thank you very much, Minister, giving us time. And what would...
Pleasure to be here. Today's a great day for Queen's Park, great day for the women, because today is the International Women's Day, and March the 8th is always happy hour, happy day. I can see so many happy faces, so I'm pleased to be here today.
Minister, I congratulate you about one thing. Your government has done something very good about education. And today, Minister Helena told me that yes, education is free for the children, university and college going. But if an adult, a mother or a big sister sitting home and she want to improve her education, she want to go to university, it's free for her as well.
I think education is, for so many years now, that the provincial government actually focused on since 2003. Our former Premier, the nickname is Education Premier, and our current Premier actually deepening that education piece. And yes, you're right, very recently our 2016 budget, that we one more time deepen our investment in education, meaning family income less than $50,000, that their kids can go to colleges, universities free. So this is, I hope, in my humble opinion, I hope this is the first step that eventually one day in the future that we can make it a free education for higher education for the kids in Ontario.
Thank you, it's a big deal, but my concern is not only young children, but if a mother wants to empower herself by improving her education, they can also avail this free education.
I think it is available because it actually covers based on income. So the family income is $50,000, and then you want to go to college or university, then you are entitled to apply. So this is a good thing. Okay, so again, our government is so much focused on education, and there's a reason for it. The reason is that the world is very competitive, and in order to make things more creative, we have to use our talent to create things for research and innovation, for research and development. So that is why we keep investing, deepening our investment in education, so that we can have really talented people, so that investment will come to Ontario, set up their research, innovation firms, partnerships, hubs. So that's how we create jobs. That's how we drive and expand Ontario's economy.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you one more time. Happy International Women's Day.
मेरे साथ इस वक्त हैं एमपीपी सू वोंग, स्कारब्रो एग्नी कोर्ट से आप इलेक्ट हुई हैं. एक चीज़ जो बड़ी अच्छी है, ज़ाहिर है हम तालीम के लिहाज से तो बात कर ही रहे हैं कि तमाम स्टूडेंट्स के लिए वो माँ बाप जिनकी आमदनी 80,000 तक है, उनके लिए कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटी की एजुकेशन फ्री है। मगर आज वुमेन डे है, इस हवाले से वो ख़वातीन जिनकी आमदन 50 से कम है, यूनिवर्सिटी और कॉलेज की तालीम उनके लिए भी फ्री है। MPP Sue Wong from Scarborough Agni Court is here with me. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Queen's Park.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, MPP Sue Wong, I was talking about education, and today is a Women Day. It's a great gift for the women, for the women empowerment. Now, I am told that education, any woman whose income or the family income is 50,000 up to 80,000, 83,000, if they want to upgrade their education, it's free for them as well.
So I'm very, very pleased in the proposed 2016 budget that there's a component to help low-income families and individuals who wish to go back to post-secondary schooling. So it allows mature students, whether it's a mom or a father who wants to better themselves, that if they're low income, they don't have obstacle or preventing them from access to post-secondary education, which is a good thing. Because we know that when these individuals succeed, all of Ontario succeed. So the barrier of income should not be a barrier from getting a post-secondary education. So I'm very pleased about that.
So this means marches, because Women Day was already there. This budget is a big gift for the women empowerment.
Yeah. Yes, I think that the government, particularly both the minister and the premier, recognize the importance of education, because you know the government has already done a lot for elementary school, for the kindergarten, for the 4- and 5-year-olds. So the next piece that we're looking at is making every young person or mature students, regardless of the income, provided they have the abilities. When I say abilities, not everybody wants to go to university. So this particular free tuition fee also covers community colleges as well. So which is a very, very important thing, because we know we have a skilled trade deficit right now. We also, a lot of young people and even mature students have a lot of entrepreneur skills, so that we will look for as Ontario. So by having this tuition fee opportunity, more young people and as well as mature students can access post-secondary education. So it is a good thing for Ontario, it's a good thing for all of us.
Thank you very much, MPP Sue, and I hope the government will keep on doing something good, more for the women.
I think it's very important that this government continue to build Ontario up, because we know through education, myself, I grew up in the public education system, that more Ontarian will prosper. And when you're building Ontario up, you need education, you need the infrastructure, because part of the public education piece is that most of the universities and colleges need to have infrastructure. Because we anticipate more young people and mature students will be going back to post-secondary education. So those buildings need to be improved, but also they're going to have to build them. So we now have expanded York University, as you know. There'll be a new campus in Markham, the city of Markham. And the budget book also talk about creating another campus out in, I believe, in Peel area. So it's a good thing, and I'm very excited about this opportunity for all Ontario.
Thank you very much. साहब, आपकी मुलाकात कराना चाहती हूँ गर्बन बसीन से, जो कि आंगन कम्युनिटी सेंटर ये के ब्लोर एंड डफरिन के ऊपर है. And I am very pleased to meet so many well-placed women. Gurbain, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
First of all, would you mind to introduce Angan Community Center?
Yes, Angan Community Center is going into its 16th year. We're a not-for-profit organization. We are not grant-based. We raise all our own money by supporting local farmers and buying farm products and bringing it into the city for restaurants and cafes. So from the money that we make, we support the community center and the work that we do. And we also help a lot of people internationally and locally.
I would definitely introduce you to my community very soon. Now, this government has taken a very good step towards the education. And I think today at the Women's Day, I think it's a big gift for the women empowerment. Would you please put some light on it?
I think it's a wonderful idea that this education is going to be provided to families that have an income of less than $50,000.
I think a lot of people will really benefit from it and be able to be empowered and educated and take a stand for not only themselves but their whole community and the people that they love, and create a world where education is important, but also where social activism is important and helping your fellow men and women and families.
Thank you, Gurbin. And I personally believe that to empower or educate a woman is to educate the whole nation. So this education step what the government has taken at the moment is, if a woman and you are educated, you want to upgrade yourself and your income or your family income is 50,000 to 83,000, don't hesitate. Go to university or college, join it, empower yourself. And I think so your strength will be your family's strength, and that will be the strength of the community and the country.
Absolutely. I just want to say that this is very much in line with some of the work that we do. At Angan, we have a program called Send a Girl to School program, or Help a Woman Go to Work program. And what we do is we help work with schools around the world where young women and girls don't even have menstrual products. So they need underwear and pads to actually not miss school for that 1 week of their menstrual cycle. So even tonight we have a fundraiser where we're serving dinner and the community's getting together, and we raise money to help send 100 girls pads and underwear every month around the world. So
around the world.
Around the world.
But you were telling me it's Dufferin and Bloor, and you said mostly there are farmers. But I think this is all city area.
No, oh yeah, the farm products is the farm products we get from a 100-mile radius. So we work with farmers near Alliston, near Newmarket, all this. So we bring the farm products into the city, and once we bring them into the city, we sell them to the cafes. But then we raise the funds. That's right, and then we serve people around, not just in the GTA, but also around the world. So, yeah, I can definitely talk to you about that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And meanwhile, there is a wonderful person I would like to grab here, MPP Indra. And it's always pleasure seeing you.
Oh, it's wonderful
How are
to see you, Arif. And happy International Women's Day.
See?
Yeah. Mwah.
Now I definitely want to congratulate your government, and I was talking, they have taken a very good step about education, and to empower a woman is a big deal. Yes. And I am told this is not only for the students, young students. If a woman who's well educated, she's sitting home, an income less than 50 or 83,000, she can also go to the college and university.
Absolutely, Arifa. This is, I think, a really important step, especially if a woman is a single mom or has faced, let's say, domestic violence in their family and wants to be able to get ahead in her life. This piece about tuition fees and free tuition for $53,000 and less actually makes sure that a woman like that can educate herself and actually get up on her feet and, be able to move forward. Plus our affordable housing piece. We're now making housing a little more affordable. That's really important for some of these women who are trying to get going again in their lives, right? And they're facing challenges. So there's a number of pieces like that. Also, we have an action plan against sexual violence and harassment. We also have some money that we move forward to assist Indigenous women when it comes to violence. So there's lots of different things that we are doing, but all together we're speaking with one voice, and that voice is this. We believe in essentially a pledge for parity when it comes to women. We believe in equality when it comes to women, and we believe that women should be able to go out there unafraid and be able to do what they want to do and achieve their full potential, regardless of whether they are male, female, girl, boy. And that's why we're here today.
Now, MPP Indra Naidu, my question is all these things happening, empowering of the women and education, is it because our premier is a woman?
Well, I would like to think that it's because we have a really strong government that's made up of people that are really sincere in their efforts about trying to help out those of us who are women, those of us who are, young, old, girl, boy, seniors, everyone. But absolutely, this premier, I know, takes this seriously. She takes gender equality seriously. It's another reason why we have the piece that we have on, closing the gender wage gap. There are so many different things and initiatives that are out there, and she's really taking a stand. So absolutely, this is a premier who's showing leadership when it comes to this file and when it comes to making sure that we're promoting the best things we can for women.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a fantastic turnout for this reception. Thank you all for being here. But welcome, everyone, and a very happy International Women's Day to all of you. As Minister responsible for women's issues, it's been a great day. It's been a long day. It's not over yet because I'm off to the Y for the Women Distinction Awards after this, but a very satisfying day for all of us. À titre de ministre, mais aussi une journée très satisfaisante. 1 year ago, our government introduced an action plan to stop sexual violence and harassment called It's Never Okay. We wanted to start a conversation across our province about what sexual violence looks like, what was happening, and what could we do to actually stop it. And as you know, our conversation went viral. We launched our hashtag Who Will You Help campaign, a multimedia public education campaign that garnered over 85 million views worldwide. Wow. Yeah, fantastic. And earlier in the legislature today, members of the legislature unanimously voted to pass important legislation to support key initiatives to end violence against women. The Premier and I just came from the Lieutenant Governor's suite with a number of our colleagues from all parties, and the bill has received royal assent this afternoon. So this is great news for all Ontarians, men and women alike, and it takes une excellente nouvelle pour tous les Ontariennes et tous les Ontariennes. Et cela nous rapproche de milieux de travail et campus plus sécurité et d'un meilleur soutien offert aux survivantes. I'm working on my French, can you tell? I'm proud of the momentum we've built up over the last 12 months towards achieving equality for women in Ontario. Our action plan to stop sexual violence and harassment has reached its first anniversary, with many concrete achievements being reached. And this is, of course, to help women and men be safe while we're also supporting survivors. And our long-term strategy to end violence against Indigenous women, called Walking Together, was announced only a few weeks ago. That's a $100 million investment to end violence violence against Indigenous women and girls. And I'm very proud of our Premier for leading that work and supporting this. Thank you, Premier. But it's important to note that you all play an important role in your communities each and every day. And I commend all of you, each and every one of you, for that. And to the members of our joint working group who are here today, I give you my heartfelt thanks for your dedication, advice, and guidance. We've accomplished so much, and I know that together we'll continue on this positive tone. That's our joint working group to end violence against Aboriginal women. And we were so proud, the Premier and I, to speak about the work of this group in Winnipeg at the National Roundtable on Missing and Murdered Aboriginal Women. And I must say, you and the Premier and all of us received tremendous acknowledgement for the work that we're doing here in Ontario for Indigenous women and all women. And to our other partners, our colleagues and friends, thank you for your work, your interest, and your commitment to achieving women's equality. And although we've reached many new heights on the path to gender parity, we know there is still much more work to do, and I know we can do it. Obstacles do not deter brave and indomitable women of decades past, those who fought for women's rights to be equal, to own land, to vote, to be recognized as persons under the law. It's our turn, our collective turn, to continue the work to end violence, to reduce poverty, to close the gender wage gap, to broaden gender diversity in positions of leadership, which I'm working on with Minister Charles Sousa, and to ensure that no woman is forced to endure violence and live in fear. And as I look around, yes, thank you, thank you. And as I look around the room, all of us gathered here today, I'm completely convinced that these goals are very much within our reach. So thank you very much for being here, Miigwech. And now it is my distinct and great pleasure to introduce our Premier, the Honourable Kathleen Wynne.
Oh, thank you, Tracy, and it's wonderful to be here with all of you. Thank you, every single one of you, for taking time to be here to celebrate International Women's Day and to acknowledge and celebrate the work that you have done over the years and continue to do. Thank you to all of you so much. And I'll say bonjour, Annie, bonjour, and I want to specifically, bonjour, ça va? I want to specifically acknowledge the young people who are here. There are some very young people here. Les jeunesses qui sont si importants pour notre avenir. Merci, merci beaucoup pour votre présence ici. And Tracy acknowledged the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and I want to do that as well and acknowledge the Indigenous people who have walked on this land for so long before the rest of us came, because we all came from somewhere else. And these acknowledgements are just one of the million things that we must do to reconcile and repair our relationship with Indigenous people in this province. And I want to just, I was given this beautiful carving just today by the Ontario Native Women's Association, but it came from a woman who lives in Vancouver's East Side, who is an artist, and I wear it with pride and honor because we're here, all of us, to support each other, but to support every woman in the world who is struggling to have a voice, struggling to have a place, and struggling to have the privileges that so many of us already enjoy. So thank you. As Tracy said, a few weeks ago when we released Walking Together, which is our strategy to end violence against Indigenous women, I said that Ontario is working with Indigenous partners to drive positive change. Indigenous partners are leading the way on this. The strategy speaks to the strength of Indigenous women as they work to build their communities up, and we're honored to support them on this journey. We are there. In this spirit, the same spirit of partnership and positive change that I want to bring to this International Women's Day. Dans le même esprit de partenariat et de changement positif, permettez-moi de vous souhaiter une magnifique journée internationale de la femme. It is one of my favorite days of the year, although I hope one day, probably not in my lifetime, but maybe in Emily's lifetime, that we won't have to have an International Women's Day because we will have created a world where there is an equal voice for women. But since we're not there yet, it gives me strength every year to gather with all of you to celebrate and to look at what we have accomplished. As I said at Black History Month at the reception last month, we need more than just a month or a day to celebrate achievements and highlight ongoing struggles. So with that in mind, let's just talk about what we've accomplished together all year. Today we released, as Tracy has said, we released the one-year progress report on It's Never Okay. And It's Never Okay was our groundbreaking action plan to stop sexual violence and harassment in Ontario. And that action plan grew out of our impatience at the ongoing conversation around sexual assault and violence in Ontario. That somehow we, in 2015, last year, had not still gotten to the point where we were doing everything we could to stop sexual assault and violence. And so we said, with your support, we said, it's never okay, time is up on this, we are going to change the policy, and we are going to put our resources behind stopping sexual assault and violence in Ontario, and then with luck that will spread beyond our borders. And when I announced the plan last year on International Women's Day, I said that we can and we must do better. And we hit the ground running. We did a lot of work across ministries, because this isn't an issue that resides in one ministry or one directorate. This resides across government. And so, as you know, we put the award-winning Who Will You Help campaign in place that helped the public recognize sexual violence and harassment when they see it. That's the feedback we got, was that people who watched that ad campaign, that public education campaign, some of them said, I didn't realize that's what you were talking about. Oh, so that's what you're talking about. And the research shows, because we've tracked the research, that the campaign has had a real and profound effect on changing attitudes across our province. And I'm thrilled that we can see a measurable difference. But we didn't stop there. We're improving support for survivors. We're increasing funding for hospital-based sexual and domestic violence treatment centers and community-based sexual assault centers. And we're continuing to work on establishing a pilot program to offer independent legal advice to survivors of sexual assault. Because remember, sometimes what we're talking about is people not knowing who to talk to, not having a person to talk to who can help them to take the next step. And we had the third reading of our legislation today. I'm thrilled that it just received royal assent less than an hour ago. And once these laws go into effect, they will make workplaces and campuses across our province safer. I've said this to some of you, but one of the conversations that Tracy and I had last year was with students at colleges and universities. And what they said to us is, in 2015, we still can't get the policies that we know we need on our campus to make our campuses safe. We can't get access to the table where those decisions are being made. And Tracy restrained me from leaping on the table and saying, "What do you mean? We were having these conversations in 1970. So we just said, that is unacceptable. And so the legislation will require student involvement in development of those policies. It will require that colleges and universities and our educational institutions have those policies, and that they keep them updated, and that they involve students in the formation of them. That's the very least that we can expect, and so we have mandated that. 20 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, we were having these conversations. And above all, the action plan is continuing to confront the misogyny and rape culture that leads to sexual violence and harassment. Because that's right. Sexual violence and harassment don't happen without being rooted in a culture, and that's the culture that we are dealing with. And what happens, of course, is that too often the end of those behaviors is tragedy. 20 years ago today, Arlene May was murdered by her partner, Randy Isles. Several months prior, Arlene had visited a women's shelter where she was encouraged to report Randy's abuse to the police, which she did. Yet a year later, she was found dead by police. An inquiry into her death, which led to recommendations on how to better understand the complexities of domestic violence and the cycle of this violence. Arlene's story is heartbreaking, it's devastating, and it is far too common. Along with all survivors and victims of sexual assault, harassment, and domestic violence, we remember Arlene. Exactly 2 decades later, we have made significant progress dismantling systemic violence against women. But we still have so far to go. Nous avons fait d'importants progrès dans le démantèlement de la violence systémique contre les femmes, mais il nous reste encore beaucoup de travail à faire. I want to thank all of you for being here, but I want to thank all of you more than that for your dedication and your hard work. When government takes action, it is always on the shoulders of people who have been doing work on the front line in the community. I cannot think of a piece of policy where there isn't a group of people outside government who have been on the front line making sure that government knows what the issues are. So thank you so much. Merci. So tonight we're celebrating all women, that chorus of voices that will continue to break down barriers and work to create that world that we know we are capable of for Emily and, what's your name? Gillian. For Emily and Gillian. That's why we're here. That's the work that we're doing. Thank you very much. Merci. Miigwech.
Thank you, Premier. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Farah Khan and Sly Castelli. If you don't know who they are, first of all, they're just fantastic people. But as part of our sexual violence action plan last year, we established a permanent roundtable on violence against women, permanent. And I know a number of the members are here today, and I thank you for the work you've done, incredible work you've done in a very short period of time. And I want to thank Farah and Sly for their leadership. In addition to their initial areas of focus, they've engaged on important issues like human trafficking and support for survivors, and we're very appreciative of the work you do. We appreciate the honest and frank advice that you give, and keep doing it, keep doing it. So without any further ado, Farah and Sly, thank you so much.
We're much shorter. Well, first of all, we want to say Happy International Women's Day. Both of us are thrilled to be here. Sly in her purple, representing feminism all the way. And we're so excited because we are both here because we want to see the end of violence against women. And our names, again, are Sly Castelli and Farah Khan. We are the co-chairs of the government's Roundtable on Violence Against Women. It's our pleasure to join Premier Kathleen Wynne and Tracy McCharles, the minister responsible for women's issues on International Women's Day. We also want to thank all of you for coming, all of you that do the frontline work, that make sure that we can actually make change in our communities, to all of you that support us, that create the funding opportunities, and for all of you that do the work every day to make sure that we are making our campaigns right.
Are you all enjoying summer in this room? 1 year ago, we were gathered together at the launch of the Ontario's Sexual Violence and Harassment Action Plan. We are beyond delighted to be here today to mark another incredible milestone, the launch of the progress report on the action plan and the passing of the key legislation, the Sexual Violence and Harassment Action Plan Act. This legislation is the result of a lot of hard work by many people and was a key goal of the action plan launched by the Premier and Minister McCharles on March 6, 2015.
We all know in this room very well that sexual violence and sexual harassment are still far too prevalent in our society. There is so much work that we need to do, and we know that we can do it together. The impact is felt by women and men, young people, seniors, trans folks, people living with disabilities, newcomers, Francophone, Indigenous people, racialized people, LGBTQ people, and women living in rural and northern communities. It is felt by all. We need to do more, and today we can proudly say, with all of you in this room, that we are.
Farah and I, in particular, would like to thank all the members of the Roundtable on Violence Against Women for your dedication and hard work. It has been a very busy and very busy and very productive year. It is our sincere pleasure working with each and every one of you. Our Premier and the Minister have a vision of a province where we can all live free from the fear and threat of sexual violence and harassment. We know that all of you in this room, in this very warm room in particular, share the same vision. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much on behalf of Farah and I. Thank you. We thank the Premier and we thank Minister McCharles for this really historic moment. Happy IWD.
Can we take a selfie with you guys?
I'll just thank everybody.
Yeah, thank everybody.
So thank you, Farah and Sly, for your fantastic work and that of the entire Violence Against Women Roundtable. Again, thank you for all your work you do each and every day in the community. I can't wait to see where we are a year from now. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. And that's what we do. So enjoy the reception. I am darting off to the Volunteer Distinction Awards at the Y, so hopefully I get to chat a couple people on my way out. I hope you have a great evening, a great reception. Thanks again to our Premier for her leadership, her dedication. It's a pleasure to work with you, Premier. You're so passionate, and we admire you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Enjoy.